Hey, thought today we would talk about racing or making better race decisions. Sometimes going faster when you're racing isn't about charging your batteries at a higher amperage or putting in more horsepower. Sometimes it's not even about driving a cleaner line. Sometimes it's about making better decisions when you're in traffic and when you're on the track. And that's how you get a lower overall time, by just not crashing and not marshalling. So today, we're going to talk about I've kind of nicknamed it the double 180 nightmare. Let's get rolling. Hey everybody, Jason here, and I'm back with another quick video for you guys today. Today, we're going to talk about the double 180 nightmare. It's a little nickname I came up with for any track that ends up having a back-to-back 180 section. These are just tough sections to navigate, especially when there's tons of traffic. And if you've been racing for any length of time, you know that it's always easier to chase than it is to pace. It's always easier to follow the car in front of you. And this makes for some real nightmarish traffic situations when you're in the middle of a race when you have back-to-back 180s. Let me explain to you what happens. You're heading down the straightaway with a car that's just as fast as yours, but that driver, he's not going to slow down for that corner. So you slow down because you have a little bit of experience, and you make that inside pass, and it's nice and clean. Now you think you've gotten away scot-free, but you've made a critical mistake. You passed in the first 180. This is something that you very rarely want to do unless you know you can get away clean. After you've made your pass, you guys then start heading towards the second 180, where you're making a beeline, trying to keep your line nice and tight, close to the pipe. But the guy behind you, he's not as experienced. He doesn't realize how much he's going to need to slow down, so he runs right into the back of you, and boom, he punts you right off the track. While you're busy getting marshaled, he's driving away to victory. This is the fundamental problem with back-to-back 180s. Now, the first thing we tend to do as racers is say, oh, that guy hacked me. You're a hack. He peeled me. He plowed through the back of me. All of that's probably true. He probably is a hack. He probably did peel you, blow through the back of you, and whatnot. The solution. Let's talk about how to avoid this exact situation. First things first. In life and on the racetrack, we got to have accountability and responsibility. We knew that this guy was a little squirrely. And if you didn't know, when he was blowing his braking points by a country mile, that should have been a pretty good indicator. And so you probably knew there's a good chance that even if you made that pass, that he was going to hit you in the next corner. So the first thing we need to do is just evaluate who we're racing against and what kind of skill level they have. If someone clearly doesn't have as much car control as you, then you need to be careful when you're around them. But more importantly, the critical error that occurred here is that we decided, instead of setting this guy up and really taking a measure of where we wanted to get by him, we blew by him in the first corner in a rush, maybe because we were being pressured by another car behind us, and then we paid for it dearly in the second 180. Generally speaking, every track kind of has sweet spots, and it has points where it's easier and safer to pass, specifically 90-degree corners that don't head into 180s. Anytime you're heading into a 180, it's a dangerous place to take over a position because the guy behind you could just follow you in. He obviously, if he's following you a foot behind and you stomp the brakes, that's it. He's coming into the back of you, and there's really nothing you can do about it. So, generally speaking, the solution here is to be careful around your traffic, pay attention to what he's doing, try to set him up in the first 180, and then get by him in the second 180, and then hopefully you won't have any more problems. He won't have a chance to get into the back of you in the oncoming laps. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. It's real simple, but it'll make a big difference. A lot of guys want to buy their way to victory, and I'm not against it. I'm not against buying awesome new equipment, don't get me wrong. Low resistance batteries, high power chargers, horse-powered motors, all this good stuff. But the truth is, being smart on the track is probably worth more than buying all that stuff combined. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video just as much as I enjoyed making it. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Quick, I know the video is over, but for the record, we're not picking on tracks that have back-to-back 180s. The simple fact is, especially with the smaller indoor tracks, they're rectangular in nature. And when you have a track that's, say, less than 4 or 5 lanes deep, more than likely you're going to end up with back-to-back 180s sooner or later, just because the ownership or the management, they change the layouts, and sooner or later, one layout will show up with a back-to-back 180. When I say nightmare, I don't mean a nightmare. I'm not trying to pick on the tracks because I don't mind racing on tracks that have back-to-back 180s. In fact, more often than not lately, it seems like just being aware of the fact that I don't want to make that pass in that first corner seems to help me out. So this isn't me picking on tracks or saying don't put back-to-back 180s in. It's just saying that as racers, let's be responsible and let's be accountable to ourselves so that we can make good decisions on the track. That's that.